Think about how you behave in relationships right now. Do you push people away the moment they get too close? Do you find yourself attaching to almost anyone who shows you warmth, even people you barely know? Or do you constantly feel like love is something fragile, something that could disappear at any moment for no reason? Most people assume those patterns come from adult experiences, a bad relationship, a painful breakup, a lesson learned the hard way. But what if those patterns were already written into you before you could walk, before you could talk, before you had any say in it at all? There is a study that answers that question. And once you hear it, you will never look at yourself or the people you love the same way again.
In 1975, researchers Tizard and Rees conducted one of the most quietly devastating studies in the history of psychology. 26 children, abandoned at birth, raised in an institution in London. And this was not a neglectful place. These children had everything: toys, books, warm food, clean clothes, full physical care. On paper, their needs were met. But there was one rule. The caregivers were told they were not allowed to form attachments to the children. Think about what that actually means. Adults spending every day with babies and toddlers, feeding them, bathing them, watching them grow, and being instructed not to love them. No warmth, no bond, everything except the one thing that might actually matter most. After 4 years of that, the researchers looked at what happened to those 26 children. The results split into 3 groups, and those 3 groups ended up reshaping how psychology understands human beings to this day.
8 of the children shut down completely. They stopped responding to people. They became emotionally withdrawn, quiet in a way that wasn't peace, but absence. Like something inside them had simply closed. If the world would not come to them, they would stop reaching for it. 10 children went the complete opposite direction. They became indiscriminately social, approaching strangers, seeking comfort from anyone with no filter and no caution. Because when you have never experienced a safe attachment, you stop being able to tell the difference between safe and unsafe. Everyone feels equally worth trying. Only 8 out of 26, less than a third, managed to form something resembling a healthy, normal attachment. Same environment, same physical care, same building, same food, same routine. The only variable was love. And without it, 26 children's brains rewired themselves in 3 completely different directions, trying to survive the absence of it. Those 3 outcomes now form the foundation of how attachment disorders are diagnosed in psychology's most important clinical manual, the DSM, to this day.
So here is what this study is really telling you. Love is not a want. It is not a luxury. It is not something you outgrow the need for. It is as biological as food, as necessary as air. And the absence of it in those first few years of life does not just leave a gap. It actively shapes the architecture of how a person connects, trusts, and loves for the rest of their life. If you have ever struggled to let people in, or struggled to keep them at a healthy distance, or felt like love was always one wrong move away from disappearing, there is a very real chance that struggle began somewhere you cannot even remember. Not because something is broken in you, but because your brain, at its most vulnerable and most formative, was simply trying to adapt to whatever it was given.
Imagine how much of who you are right now, how you love, how you attach, how you pull people close or push them away, was decided before you could even speak. That is not a small thing to sit with. But here is what matters most. Understanding where a pattern comes from is the first step to no longer being ruled by it, You did not choose your beginning, but you are not locked into it either. The fact that you are asking these questions right now already means something is shifting. Which of those 3 patterns do you recognize in yourself? Or in someone you love? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know. Share this with someone who needs to understand themselves a little better today. And subscribe, because there is a lot more of this coming.